If you have a $500,000 budget and you're shopping for a home in Howard County, Maryland, you're looking right at the sweet spot for our housing market. But if you're trying to decide between our two most popular cities, Columbia and Ellicott City, that $500,000 behaves in completely different ways. I'm Scott Moran, Maryland's tallest realtor. Today, we're doing a deep dive into what $500,000 actually gets you in Columbia versus Ellicott City. Our current 2026 spring data shows that the countywide median sales price is sitting right around $568,000. This means that a $500,000 budget is highly competitive, but it requires strategy. Today, we're going to look at the exact square footage, the neighborhood associations, the hidden carrying costs, and run our signature tall test for both areas. Grab your calculator because we're going to be breaking down the true purchasing power of a $500,000. Let's start with Columbia, our 14,000-acre master planned hub. With Columbia's citywide median price trending just under the county average, a $500,000 budget makes you an incredibly strong contender, but it primarily places you in luxury townhome territory. If we pull up the inventory in villages like King's Contrivance, Owen Brown, or Long Reach, $500,000 buys you a beautiful, fully updated 3-level townhome. We're talking about 1,600 to 2,200 square feet of finished living space, usually featuring 3 bedrooms, 2.5 to 3.5 bathrooms, and a small fenced-in rear courtyard. These properties are highly efficient. From a tall test standpoint, homes built in Columbia throughout the late 1980s to 1990s feature standard 8-foot ceilings on the main living levels, but they often surprise you with the excellent wide stairwells and fully finished walkout basements that have great clearance. But here's a structural detail you have to account for in Columbia: the Columbia Association or CA fee. On a $500,000 property, your annual CA assessment will run about $1,000 to $1,400 a year, billed directly on top of your standard neighborhood HOA fees. What are you getting for that money? You're paying for your preservation of Columbia's extensive open spaces, the maintenance of the 95 miles of paved walking paths right outside your door, and discounted access to the massive network of community pools and sports clubs. If you're a buyer who wants a turnkey, low-maintenance property where you can lock your door and walk to a village center for dinner, Columbia at $500,000 is an absolute home run. Now, let's look across the border at Ellicott City, because the overall median price in Ellicott City runs slightly higher, frequently stretching between $580,000 and $660,000. A $500,000 budget forces you to make a choice between structural age or property style. At $500,000 in Ellicott City, you can occasionally find a detached single-family home, but it comes with a catch. You're looking at older ranch-style split foyers or traditional split-level homes built in the 60s and 70s, located along Route 40. These homes will typically offer 1,400 to 1,800 square feet, a private driveway, and a true quarter-acre or half-acre lot. However, at this price point, the home will likely require cosmetic updating. Think original kitchens, older mechanical systems, and a layout that isn't the most open concept that most buyers are looking for. Now, from the tall test perspective, these 60s split foyers can be a challenge. Tighter entryway landings and basement drop ceilings can make the space feel a little bit more restrictive if you're tall. If you don't want a fixer-upper, your $500K in Ellicott City moves you into luxury condos or townhomes in neighborhoods like Taylor Village or pockets near Turf Valley. Here, your square footage stays around 1,800 square feet, but you gain modern 9-foot ceilings, premium finishes, and parking garages. A key difference in Ellicott City is that you don't have the Columbia Association fee. Your traditional neighborhood HOA will be significantly lower, meaning that your monthly carrying costs are focused entirely on your actual property equity rather than community infrastructure. Let's look at the financial carrying cost for a $500,000 purchase in both cities, because this is where your real monthly budget is decided. We'll assume that a standard 2026 mortgage scenario of 6.4% interest rate and a 10% down payment, $50,000, leaving a loan balance of $450,000. Your base principal and interest payment is going to sit right around $2,815 a month. But now we have to layer in the local property taxes. Howard County's base real estate tax is $1.04 per $100 of assessed value, plus a 20.6-cent fire and rescue tax. For a $500,000 home, your combined property tax bill is roughly $6,250 a year, or about $520 a month. Now, let's look at the daily differences in carrying costs. In Columbia, you have your mortgage, $2,815. Your property taxes, $520. Standard homeowners insurance around $100, and private mortgage insurance, let's call that $65. Then you add a standard townhome HOA fee of $80, plus your monthly prorated Columbia Association fee, roughly another $100. Your total all-in payment is gonna hover right around $3,680 a month. In Ellicott City, if you buy that detached 1970s single-family home, you drop the Columbia Association fee entirely, and the Civic HOA might only be $20 a month, or completely non-existent. However, because it's an older detached home, your homeowner's insurance will be slightly higher, around $130 a month. If your average monthly utility bills will scale up roughly 20 to 25%, that's going to make an impact because of the insulation and larger roof surface. Your total monthly layout sits right around $3,530 per month. You save roughly $150 a month in Ellicott City on community fees, but you do have to be prepared to reinvest those savings directly back into structural maintenance of an older detached asset. So when we look at the final analysis, how do you deploy your $500,000? If your priority is a turnkey layout, highly modern interior spaces, zero weekend yard work, and immediate access to community paths and fitness centers, Columbia is the undeniable winner for your budget. If your priority is land, physical privacy, a detached structure with no shared walls, and you don't mind picking up a paintbrush or updating a kitchen over time, Ellicott City is where your money needs to go. Every buyer's financial blueprint and physical frame is different. If you're planning a move to Howard County over the next few months and want to see what your specific budget looks like in these neighborhoods, let's build a strategy. Click the link down in the description below to lock in a 15-minute Zoom discovery call directly on my calendar. I'm Scott Moran, Maryland's tallest realtor. Let's find a property that perfectly fits your life. I'll see you on the next one.